Taking too long. Whoa, Jesus! Somebody watch it!
In your personal opinion, do you think sports are good for students in school? Why or why not?
In my opinion, yes, I do believe sports are good for students in school. The first reason I believe that is that gives students something to work towards. If you look at the general population of the student body, you look at a lot of students struggle because they are not interested in anything extracurricular. With extracurricular activities, students have something outside of the classroom that motivates them to do what they need to do inside the classroom. With sports, it also builds camaraderie, creates friendships that last a lifetime, to where these students are gaining what they need as a total person, not just an education in the classroom or in books. They're learning how to deal with people, learning how to deal with adversity, things that you may not be able to easily teach in a classroom.
Next question. Why do so many people play sports when they're at high risk of injury?
I think you look at a lot of kids play sports because, one, it's what their parents have done, and the other thing is it's something they love to do. When you love to do something, you don't really think about the risks or anything like that. You think about the reward and what drives people to really excel when they know that there's a risk. Like I've been told growing up that nothing's really worth doing unless there's a little bit of risk involved. You don't want something that's going to be watered down. You want something that's going to challenge you. And even though that there's a risk of injury, there's risk of injury walking down the steps here at the school. So would you rather be injured doing something that you love or doing something silly?
If you were to talk to a parent or child that has been affected by the risk of sports, what would you tell them?
With someone who's been affected by an injury, a lot of the times if the parents have been involved in sports, the parents understand that there's risks involved, and they understand that if it's something that their child really loves to do, they're going to participate in it. What I would tell them is, your child could get hurt walking down the street. They could get hurt, sitting in the classroom or doing something on a normal basis. But if they're doing something that they love, it makes it all, the injury thought and process kind of go away. And the thing is, with most parents, if they were athletes themselves and they've dealt with injuries, they can help their child and further limit their risk through training and precaution, as opposed to just saying, no, we're not going to do that because of the possibility of something happening. Because when you limit your children by saying you can't do this because there's a possibility of an injury, you're taking away a joy and a part of them that could lead to them excelling in something.
In your personal opinion, do you think sports are good for students in school? Why or why not?
Yes, it's real good to have sports around, eh? There's obviously some bad things along with it too, but it is really good for kids to have something to succeed with outside of the classroom, and it gives them that good challenge. They get to look after their bodies, and get to have some healthy competitiveness. But it can distract kids from the classroom, especially if it's game day or something like that, or they're a little bit sore after the night before.
Okay. Why do so many people play sports when they're at high risk of injury?
Well, you got to look at like the risk reward scenario. Like if you're going to win a national championship or something like we did at UC, like there's a lot of risk going into it, but we have that reward for the rest of our lives, So at the end of the day, it's definitely worth it, and you just want to push yourself to be the best you can.
Okay. If you were to talk to a parent or child that has been affected by the risk of sports, what would you tell them?
Ooh. Well, unfortunately, I can only see them because of a sports injury. I haven't had glasses for that long, and sports injuries did it to me. So it's worth it, you know. Like, bad things don't always happen, but you definitely have to be realistic about some things, especially if you play contact sports or whatnot, eh?
That's it.
Can you see why some parents and guardians dislike their child playing sports?
Well, obviously, as a parent who's had one injured this year, I can see where the fear of injury is probably in all parents' minds. There's other reasons that I guess to dislike sports. The cost, for instance, a large family traveling to events costs quite a bit. Equipment, $300 cleats. So cost can add up quickly. And time, you spend lots of time on the road, traveling to practices, travel leagues. You work your summer vacation around, the 3-week practice season. So, again, the fear of injury, the cost associated, and the time are all reasons that some parents might dislike their children playing sports.
Do you think more sports should be offered around the world? Why or why not?
Yes, I think it should be, because it gives everybody the opportunity, as we do here in the United States, to be able to participate in sports. You get to pick out the good people, the stronger, the better, all across the country, other than just in designated areas.
Tell me when to go. Look at the ground or whatever you want.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you could like sit on that table like right there, and then I'll like look at Tandem, and then.
It's gonna be.
Well, yeah, that's good.
You don't have an
For your sake, to get all the stuff on my desk.
Players, and it should be cut.